Have been released. The Kane County coroner has identified the driver killed last month in an Elgin train crash. 56-year-old Martin Martinez Jimenez died when a Union Pacific locomotive collided with his landscaping truck on State Street on October 23rd. 2 others were injured. The preliminary NTSB report shows Jimenez had little warning of the oncoming train. Recorders indicate the train's whistle and crossing signals were
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by Hot Hands, America's favorite hand warmers. A wind advisory is in effect from 3 a.m. to 9 p.m. Wednesday. Tonight, rain likely between 8 p.m. and 1 a.m., then a slight chance of rain and snow. Mostly cloudy with a low around 33, temperatures rising to around 36 overnight. Gusty winds up to 40 miles per hour. Currently, it is 49 and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Thanks to Total Wine, you saved more on all the gifts for the ones you adore. Wines and beers all nestled on shelves. Got some advice from our helpful elves. Oh, so many gifts to explore when you go to Total Wine and More. Bottles so delightful, whoa. Price so amazingly low.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total.
Are you looking to buy, sell, or trade something? Maybe clean out that attic or basement, or just make a little extra cash? Then don't miss Tradio on Out to Lunch with WRMN AM 1410. Weekdays at 12:30 p.m. Call in to let folks in the Fox River Valley know what you're looking for or what you've got to get rid of. It's easy, it's free, and it's a great way to connect with your community. Call in at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. If it's got to go, then let us know. Only on Tradio. Here on WRMN AM 1410. Hey Bears fans, want your business heard during every heart-pounding moment of the game? WRMN 1410 is now offering in-game ad spots for Chicago Bears broadcasts. Be a part of the action as thousands of die-hard listeners tune in each week. Whether it's a touchdown, turnover, or a timeout, your message will be right there in the mix. Spots are limited and going fast. Call WRMN 1410 today at 847-741-7700 and score big with in-game advertising that delivers results. Get in the game with the Chicago Bears on WRMN AM 1410.
Ladies and gentlemen, step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. From the Chicagoland to lands afar. With Derrick Geyer, your sports czar. The game's the place from field to rink. Hot debates, fast takes, no time to blink. The Windy City roar, the fans ignite. Your circus of sports under radio light. Big Time Sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland.
And welcome in to another edition of Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. Excuse me a second. Oh, excuse me. Seemed like I had a frog in my throat there for a little stitch of time there. Yeah, well, welcome in. This is Big Top Sports. I'm Derrick Geyer. And if you want to be a part of any of the sporting conversation that I'm going to have tonight, of course, going to be talking about the Chicago Bears. Wait. The first place, the NFC's first place. No. The NFC North's first place, Chicago Bears. Gotta bang that bell while I can right now. We're going to be talking about the first place NFC North Chicago Bears coming up against the Philadelphia Eagles on Black Friday. So there's that. Gonna talk about the Unbelievea-Bulls Oh my good God, that effort, if you can call it that, in last night's game against the Grizzlies. Holy Smurf. That was a whole lot of Smurf that shouldn't have been smurfing on the basketball court. That is for sure. The 3-game losing streak of the Chicago Blackhawks. And then going to be getting into some MLB hot stove action as well. But first, if you want to be a part of the show or you want to see my tired, beautiful face on YouTube, you could go to youtube.com at WRMN Radio. If you want to call in and talk about any of the sports-related topics that I'll be talking about, you could call in at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. Or if you are too shy for the call-in line, then feel free to text in at 505-926-1410. That's 505-926-1410. And as always, you could listen live on the WRMN app, the TuneIn, the smart speaker, or the WRMN 1410, or at WRMN1410.com. So what do I got on the slate right now for the Chicago Bears? Well, let's go through the power rankings. And currently speaking, as I scroll through the NFL.com/news/NFL power rankings, week 13. Get that up on the screen there and switch it over. Your Chicago Bears are up apparently 3 spots to number 11. So last week, I believe that at one of the sites that I was looking at, I could have sworn that they were already at number 11, but currently right now they are up 3 spots to number 11 with their 8-3 record, which bodes pretty well. You still have the Kansas City Chiefs that are up there again, just behind the Chicago Bears. They are up 3 spots as well to number 12, but the teams in front of the Chicago Bears, counting down from 11, we've got number 10, Buffalo Bills. And that's kind of surprising, although they are a good team, question mark. Good team in air quotes. You can't see it, but I'm doing air quotes there, with their 7-4 record, but currently ranked at number 10. They are down 3 spots from last week because, they got beat by the Houston Texans by the score of 23-19, and that'll happen. Up 1 spot from 10 at number 9 is the San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy's 3 first-half interceptions were the last thing that the 49ers needed, obviously. And you kind of wonder, how are they able to, keep up their winning ways? But during halftime, you also had Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle play big roles, just like they always do for the 49ers, and they were able to, basically come back and take the victory over the Carolina Panthers in that one. At number 8, you have the Detroit Lions at 7-4. They stay pat at 8. Not going to get into them a whole hell of a lot right there. The Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers are up 2 spots from 9 to 7. I'm not exactly... Oh, yeah, because they put a whooping on the Minnesota Vikings last week. Then you also have the Philadelphia Eagles, the previously mentioned Philadelphia Eagles. They are down 3 spots to number 6. That is after they blew that game. Yep, they ended up blowing the game, and Well, now they are probably going to be playing a little bit pissed off against the Chicago Bears on Black Friday. But, yep. And up one from 6 to 5, you have the New England Patriots, who are at 10-2. And my goodness, if I were to say that there is a team that probably deserves to be a little higher ranked in this, power rankings, if you will, it would be the New England Patriots. But after barely getting by a 26-20 victory over the Cincinnati Bengals, and Drake May kind of looking a little out of it in the very beginning, but they were able to right the ship. So, there's that aspect. But yeah. And then, did you see the comeback coming from the Kansas City Chiefs against the number 4 ranked Indianapolis Colts that are down 2 spots to number 4? Yeah. I guess you can't really take Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs too lightly. If history has anything to say about that, well, I don't think the Kansas City Chiefs are going away anytime soon. Not if Patrick Mahomes, Taylor Swift, Kelsey Taylor, has anything to do with it, or Andy Reid, or State Farm for that matter. But they did lose to the Kansas City Chiefs last week, and that was a little interesting to say the least. But like I said, can you really bet against Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes? Then up 2 spots to number 3, you have the 9-2 Denver Broncos. And, well, that's considering the fact that the Denver Broncos had probably been playing some of the most stout defense in the NFL, if not the AFC. And even with the Chiefs winning Sunday, the Broncos still basically, they have their own fate in their hands. They are up 9-2. And you've got the Kansas City Chiefs that are 6-5. Got to scroll back down there as I am looking. Yep, 6-5. Just wanted to make sure that I got that record right. So yeah, but through the first 11 games, my goodness, their defense is, well, it's scary. They are scary good on that defense. And the thing that they need to do is basically temper things on the offensive side of things, not give the ball away, not turn it over. But yeah. And then number 2, you have the Seattle Seahawks up from 4. They are 8-3. And considering the fact that Sam Darnold had thrown 4 interceptions the week prior, well, he sure wasn't shy about tossing the ball around against the Tennessee Titans, and he had a pretty good stat line, pretty clean stat line for that. Even though there were a few errant passes that could have potentially hurt them, the Seahawks came away with that and were dominant for about 3/4 of the game. And yeah, and with the likes of Jackson Smith and Njigba, and with Calvin, is how he is productive wise, being on the heels of Calvin Johnson, and how he is on pace to become the NFL's first 2,000-yard receiver. Ooh-wee, that is some dangerously good offense. And then talk about dangerously good offense in the NFC. You're talking about the Los Angeles Rams being ranked number 1 in all of the NFL, especially in the NFC, And right now, they have currently won 6 games in a row, with 5 coming by 14 points, with 5 coming by 14 plus points, especially after they really did a number on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But yeah, I will be diving into the Chicago Bears on the other side of this break. You are currently listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer, back in a few.
If your idea of therapy involves a fishing rod, a tree stand, or a campfire, then you need American Outdoors Radio. Host John Cruz speaks your language, whether it's about the best lures, tracking game, or that one buddy who always forgets to bring the beer. John's got the tips to sharpen your aim, the hacks to pack lighter, and the stories to keep you entertained. Again, that's American Outdoor Radio with John Cruz. Saturdays at 7 a.m. on WRMN 1410. Or stream it at WRMN1410.com. Get ready to outfish, outhunt, and outcamp them all on American Outdoor Radio with John Cruz.
Fitting in shouldn't be hard, whether in life, on the court, or in the classroom. At Elgin Community College, you could find your place alongside those expanding their horizons, exploring rewarding careers, and achieving their dreams. A place for doers, thinkers, and believers. At ECC, we see you, we believe in you, and you'll fit right in. Learn more at elgin.edu/belong.
It's easier than you think for pests to threaten your family's health. Ticks, which spread dangerous diseases, hide in tall grasses and even on your pets. Rodents easily invade your home, contaminate food, and can carry more than 35 diseases. Mosquitoes, which breed in standing water, transmit many diseases. Get the facts you need to protect your family at pestworld.org. It's that easy. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
We are AFGE, the American Federation of Government Employees. We represent 700,000 federal and D.C. government workers who are the vital threads of the fabric of American life. We support our nation's military. We take care of our nation's veterans. We protect our nation's borders. We respond to our nation's crises and natural disasters. We provide services to our nation's seniors. The American Federation of Government Employees. We work for America.
We are AFGE, the American Federation of Government Employees. We represent 700,000 federal and D.C. government workers who are the vital threads of the fabric of American life. We support our nation's military. We take care of our nation's veterans. We protect our nation's borders. We respond to our nation's crises and natural disasters. We provide services to our nation's seniors. The American Federation of Government Employees. We work for America.
And welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. And if you had any inclination about the Chicago Bears at the very beginning of the season, and there were definitely a lot of detractors, and I had myself, the heart, what the heart wants and what the head wants. And clearly right now, both things, the heart is actually beating out what the head wants. Ooh, maybe I need to rephrase that. But with that being said, the Chicago Bears are currently in first place in the NFC North. And with the 8-3 record, if the playoffs were to start right now, they would be the number 3 seed. Awesome, right? With their rushing, did you think that they would be currently second in the league with their rushing attack? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, they did upgrade with the likes of, and by when I say they upgraded, they've definitely upgraded their offensive line. That's no mistake. We've been talking about that since they've done it. Joe Thuney, Drew Dahlman, Jonah Jackson. I mean, there has even been a couple of players, that you didn't really expect to, be a part of on the offensive line for the Chicago Bears. And with that being said, you've also had a couple of players that have been hurt. Theo Benedette, he's been doing pretty good. He took the starting job. He was an unsigned free agent for the Chicago Bears. What about the likes of Ozzie Trapillo? Kind of weren't expecting him to be a part of the mix, right? Then, you also have right guard Jonah Jackson. So it's been pretty good as far as where they're actually coming from. And then the thing that didn't really dawn on me until maybe about a week or two ago, and make no mistake about it, I'm coming from a fan's perspective. I look at the stats. I see who's being productive. I don't necessarily check out the all 22. Maybe I should pay for it, but that's coin out of my pocket right now that I can't afford to do because life is life, right? And the unit that has basically been, and the offensive line is the reason why things have been going so good for the Chicago Bears. And I kind of laugh as I'm saying it because, man, oh man, you remember the last couple of seasons with the offensive line in the Chicago Bears and how brutal they were? I mean, you could go back and look at the game footage where I think there was 6 guys, or maybe it was 5, but there were 3 offensive linemen, 3 offensive guys. Take 2. 3 offensive linemen on their asses, just absolutely destroyed. And the other 2 were turnstiles, or a revolving door, if you will. And the defensive line from the other team was already up in Caleb Williams' face, which was indicative of the 68 sacks that they allowed last year. But with that being said, right now, 8-3, first place in the NFC North. This is by far gotta be, if not the top 2 or 3 most improved lines, offensive lines in the NFL. Because right now, they are leading the NFL in pass block win rate. And that is attributed to the guys that they brought in, Thuney, Jackson, Dahlman. Not only that, but, hello, Ozzie Trapillo. And you're talking about actually being able to go up against the likes of, I'm not blind to the fact that, my goodness, it hasn't always looked pretty. But considering the fact that Caleb is able to, well, with the exception of that one nasty, ugly play that he had, that strip sack fumble that led to the defense scoring on him by Watts. I mean, that was, and I know it was a bad play, but it was even a lot more horrible to listen to it on the radio and have it described in the manner that they were describing it. It was just unfathomable, but that was a Lemony Snicket's series of unfortunate events. No, not you, Siri. But when you go ahead and you have a holding call on a kickoff, so you take that back from the 35 to the 25, then you got another holding call, 25 to the 15, then you have oh my God, it was just, it was brutal. And that was by far like one of the ugliest plays that I've actually seen Caleb Williams do all season. And you're probably agreeing with me on that. But currently you are listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer.
I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Cintas. Joliet police say an 18-year-old man, Jalen Davis, is facing multiple charges after a series of early morning burglaries Thursday. Officers say Davis threw a brick through a dollar store, then broke into a Wendy's, damaging registers and a safe, and attempted to enter a nearby Dunkin'. Police recovered stolen merchandise and tools they believe were used in the crimes. Davis was arrested, charged with burglary and other offenses, and later released from jail as the investigation continues. Plainfield police say an active incident near Crossing Drive and Springview Court Sunday night was peacefully resolved after nearly 2 hours. Authorities had asked residents to avoid the area, but the alert was lifted just before 8:45 p.m. No further details have been released. The Kane County coroner has identified the driver killed last month in an Elgin train crash. 56-year-old Martin Martinez Jimenez died when a Union Pacific locomotive collided with his landscaping truck on State Street on October 23rd. 2 others were injured. The preliminary NTSB report shows Jimenez had little warning of the oncoming train. Recorders indicate the train's whistle and crossing signals were activated only moments before the collision after vehicles had already entered the tracks. The investigation is ongoing. Millions of Amazon Prime customers will get automatic refunds after a $2.5 billion FTC settlement. Regulators say Amazon used deceptive tactics to sign people up and made it hard to cancel. Eligible customers, those enrolled between 2019 and 2025 with limited Prime use, will get up to $51. Tragedy struck Saturday night at Two Brothers Roundhouse in Aurora, where a shooting left 2 dead, including the suspected shooter and 1 person in critical condition. Police say the 3 victims knew each other and the incident appears to be related to domestic violence. Authorities confirm there is no ongoing threat to the community. The Aurora Police Department and Kane County Coroner are investigating, and anyone with information is urged to come forward. The brew pub has since reopened after temporarily closing. I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like rugs. And people say a rug would really bring the room together. And sure, you don't know what that means, but it sounds important. Suddenly you're using words like jute and sisal. Then you see the price and lose it, because how can the thing you walk and spill on cost so much? So you devote your life to taking down Big Rug. But then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds. So looks like Big Rug is safe. For now. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
When disaster strikes, flood or fire, every second counts. At Emergency Construction Group, they specialize in immediate response and same-day service for any residential, commercial, or industrial emergency across the Chicagoland area. With over 30 years of experience, they've got the expertise, manpower, and equipment to handle any size loss fast. They follow strict IICRC guidelines to restore your property the right way, the first time. Their team values transparency, constant communication, and strong ethical standards, because your peace of mind matters. Licensed, bonded, and insured, They're here for you 24/7, 365 days a year. Call 855-4ECG now. That's 855-432-4669. Or visit their website at emergencyconstructiongroup.com and let Emergency Construction Group put your life back together one step at a time. That's Emergency Construction Group. Your satisfaction is their passion.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast, brought to you by Hot Hands, America's favorite hand warmers. A wind advisory is in effect from 3 a.m. to 9 p.m. Wednesday for the listening area. Tonight, rain likely between 8 p.m. and 1 a.m., then a slight chance of rain and snow. Mostly cloudy with a low around 33. Gusty winds up to 45 miles per hour. Currently, it is 48 degrees and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
The holidays are back at Starbucks, so share the season with a peppermint mocha. Starbucks signature espresso, velvety mocha, and cool peppermint notes, topped with whipped cream and dark chocolate curls. Together is the best place to be at Starbucks.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly, B21.
Ladies and gentlemen, step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. Big Top Sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland. Football frenzy and hoops so high. Baseball swinging as seasons fly. Hockey blades cutting swift and true. Sports carousel spinning just for you. Big Top Sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland.
And welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. River Media Network. Oh, I had to do it at least once, didn't I? So, coming back off of this, well, it's going to be a quick turnaround for the Chicago Bears, obviously, since they just wrapped up beating the Aaron Rodgers-less Pittsburgh Steelers this past Sunday. But, well, there is no rest for the wicked and weary, and the first place, the NFC North's first place Chicago Bears. And with that being said, you know, there's some interesting comments here on the youtube.com at WRMN radio feed here, where you can join me, see my gorgeous face with the lovely bags under my eyes. You could chime in on there. You could give your own thoughts on whether or not Caleb Williams being God or not, or like what particular libation or two someone might be or may not be partaking in. So there's that. Want to thank everyone for tuning in and watching the show. I do appreciate it. And if you want to be a part of this conversation and get on air, just feel free. Pick up that phone or take it out of your pocket and dial up 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. Or you could text in at 505-926-1410. And but right now, I mean, as far as the injury reports for week 13 goes, I mean, it's pretty much more of the same. You got TJ Edwards, did not practice. Ruben Hippolyte, shoulder, did not practice. Luke Newman, offensive line, did not practice. Dominique Robinson, defensive line, concussion, did not practice. Noel Sewell, linebacker, elbow, DNP. And Tyreek Stevenson, hip, defensive back, DNP. Then, you have the likes of Theo Benedict, offensive line, quad, full participation, and the rest are going to be full participation in practice, even though it was just walkthroughs for the Chicago Bears today because, well, you're not going to get padded up. You're not going to do anything. And let's be honest. Okay, let me finish this real quick. So Theo Benedict, Kyler Gordon, defensive back, Travis Homer, running back, Jalen Johnson, DB, Kyle Monungai, all full participants in practice today. But like I said, it was all a walkthrough, and there's really no way of knowing whether or not they are going to be good to go against the Eagles, coming up on Friday, which you can catch Black Friday's game of the Chicago Bears taking on the Philadelphia Eagles live here on WRMN 1410 AM. And pregame will start at approximately noon because kickoff is at 2. And then following the Bears game, there will also be a post-game show here on WRMN 1410 AM. So I am going to be enjoying my Thanksgiving weekend. So I will not be in studio then. But if you are out in the Elgin area and you are looking for your Bears fix, Bears talk, you're going to get a heaping helping of it on Friday with the pregame, the game, and postgame. It is going to be interesting. And I hope that is not the case, that the Chicago Bears will be getting slaughtered this weekend. But after the 21-point comeback that was ushered by the Dallas Cowboys versus the Vikings, that is definitely something that could potentially happen. Because my goodness, if there was ever a time for an NFL team to be pissed and for them to seek some sort of whipping boy, it would be this week with the Eagles. And I can only imagine what a very hostile environment it will be when the Bears actually go into Philadelphia. You know, that famed place where they threw snowballs at Santa Claus. I mean, I guess you could throw snowballs at Santa Claus now because, or actually after Thanksgiving, because now it is actually in the Christmas and holiday season. Well, not really, but I mean, I suppose anytime after Halloween or the big conglomerations, anytime after Labor Day, it's the holiday season. Oh, whoop-de-doo. Oh, that's not how it goes, but I'm just adding my own little flavor to it. Yeah, so the Bears at the Eagles, and it is a 3 p.m. start. The Eagles are favored by 7. The over-under for that game is 44.5. This will be interesting. I mean, especially when you have Jalen Hurts as the QB and the Super Bowl winning QB for the Eagles. And like I said, I think the whole entire team is going to be playing with the chip on their shoulder the size of PA, Pennsylvania. My God, 21-point lead, and they lose 24-21 to one of their biggest rivals in the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, good. Oh, great googly moogly. However, the Eagles haven't been looking like themselves over the past few weeks. Now, I know that we were talking about it yesterday when I had Andrew Scheid in here with me in studio, and when we went through the Bears draft, and we were talking about the draft, and we were going through the schedule and all of that stuff, and I think it was 100% circled that this was a game where the Chicago Bears were going to lose. And I'm pretty sure 99.9999999% of the sporting world populace, fans, pundits, hell, sports show hosts, were talking about how the Bears were going to get their asses beat against the Eagles. Well, 8-3 Chicago Bears going into 8-3 Philadelphia Eagles, and even with that record, I mean, from all accounts, it just doesn't seem like things are gelling with the Eagles. But with that being said, 42-10, huh? And we've got people texting in on the YouTube feed. 42-10. Ooh, that might be a heaping helping of an ass whooping right there. That is for certain. But I mean, I already said it. You have Jalen Hurts, and as their offense can be really, really explosive, and yet it seems to be really, really dysfunctional over the last few weeks. So I just hope that it's more of the former, or is it the latter? I just hope it's more of the dysfunction, to be quite honest with you. But when the Eagles offense is currently averaging 303.6 yards per game, and the Bears and their defense, even though they've been gashed on running plays, and it's basically the walking wounded, and the fact that, yes, Caleb Williams is still inconsistent, and whether or not the running game for the Chicago Bears will be in effect, and it should be up against the tough Eagles defense. Well, and let me finish that thought. The Bears defense going up against 303.6 yards per game of the Eagles, while the Bears are generating and have generated a league high 24 takeaways this season. The Bears are still they're still allowing 5.2 yards per carry. And this is something that Saquon Lee and the Eagles could definitely take advantage of in this game, right? But yet this year, Saquon hasn't been doing what he did last year. And they've been having one hell of a time trying to establish the run for the most part. And then you get to the inconsistent Caleb Williams, where I said it last week, where you give defenses and you give other teams enough tape, now all of a sudden they have game plans in place. You have it where the orbit motions or the orbit scrambles or the whatever, the sky fake hook jump white fake left thing. Well, they've seen it a couple of times. And as far as the defense goes, for the Eagles, well, they've got another couple of big boys there that will be matching up against the Bears this week. And with the tape being on Caleb Williams and seeing how he's able to scramble outside of the pocket and throw accurately on the run, well, and not being able to throw accurately while in the pocket, that will be interesting. Not to mention the quote unquote, air quotes, thunder and lightning tandem of DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai. Well, what will happen? What will give in this game? I have absolutely no idea. But for all intents and purposes, it certainly seems like Vegas and the money lines and all the betting options out there certainly have the Bears losing this one. Because according to this and NBCSports.com/betting, the money line is the Bears plus 260. Anytime it's a plus, well, it's a gamble because they are clearly the underdogs. The Eagles are favored in this one or the money line for the Eagles is minus 325. And like I said, the spread is 7 for the Eagles, minus 7 for the Eagles. Total points of 44.5. And yeah, we'll get a little bit more into the betting aspect of things on the other side. You are currently listening to Big Top Sports with yours truly, Derrick Geyer, on WRMN 1410 AM. Back in a bit.
Get ready for an unforgettable night out in downtown St. Charles at O-Shows, where live music, dining, and entertainment come alive. Visit the iconic Arcada Theater at 105 East Main Street and experience the venue voted Chicagoland's premier entertainment destination. Whether you're enjoying a headliner concert, dining at Rock and Ravioli, or hitting the speakeasy at Club Arcada, O-Shows creates memories. Tickets and event info at oshows.com, and you can call 630-962-7000. That's 630-962-7000. Make your reservation, bring your friends, and plan your next event at O-Shows. Live music, dining, and entertainment, all in one place. Visit oshows.com and join the fun tonight. Supporter of the America's First Responder Fest.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses should operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the Better Business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Does your car need a shine? At Britain's Touchless Car Wash, they make it quick, easy, and spotless every time. And they're open 24/7 for your convenience. Right now, get a free car wash just for joining their text club. Text BRITT to 30400 and enjoy a free car wash. Visit Britain's Touchless Car Wash at 1923 Larkin Avenue in Elgin or at 555 Willow in West Dundee. Britain's, caring for your car while caring for our community.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who help people that have been injured or wronged. If you've been involved in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident or injured at work, you have rights, and you may be entitled to money for your suffering. Don't accept an offer you get from an insurance company until you talk to a lawyer. And we represent some of the best personal injury lawyers you can find. Tough lawyers that will fight to win your case. And they're so good they stake their reputation on it by only getting paid if you win. So if you've been in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident or hurt on the job, find out today for free what kind of compensation you may be entitled to. Call the legal helpline right now.
800-257-3148. 800-257-3148. 800-257-3148. That's 800-257-3148.
And welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. And before we went to break there is talking about the betting props, betting angles. Now, by no means am I a betting expert. In fact, if there was, you remember that movie back in the day? Oh my, and now I don't remember the movie that I'm referencing to, but it was The Mush. And I think it was a Bronx story, no, not a Bronx. Is it a Bronx Tale? No, I got to look this up. Bronx Tale. I do believe it was that. Bronx Tale. Yes, in fact, it was a Bronx Tale. There was The Mush, right? So whatever the bet was, he always lost the bet. And this is why I no longer actually bet on games, because it's like, oh, if it seems like a sure thing and I bet on it, yeah, 9 times out of 10, it's going in the other direction. So we've got some rushing props here. Or actually, some rushing props here. Or actually, I'll start with the passing props. With Caleb Williams, under 211.5 yards, 1.5 touchdowns. So you get plus 200 if you go under 211.5 for Caleb passing. You get minus 280 if you go under 1.5 touchdowns. At least I think I'm reading this correctly. And then as far as completions versus attempts, 19.5 completions versus 33.5 attempts. Jalen Hurts, you get minus 213.5 yards and 1.5 touchdowns. So, and those odds are minus 128 and minus 104 respectively. 19.5 completions and 28.5 attempts. Well, we all know that it seems like the Bears and their defense is kind of feast or famine, so do what you will with that. I have absolutely no desire whatsoever to bet on any of the Chicago Bears games this year, just for the simple fact that we have absolutely no idea what team's going to come out and play. I was astounded that the Chicago Bears put up as many points as they did last week against the Steelers, and I was astounded that the Steelers did the same thing to the Bears. I thought it was going to be another knockdown, drag-out, football game like it was the week before against the Minnesota Vikings. And going through it quickly, rushing props. Saquon Barkley, 76.5 yards on 17.5 attempts. And that's under 76.5 yards or 17.5 attempts. DeAndre Swift, 43.5 yards under and under 10.5 attempts. Jalen Hurts, under 31.5 yards and 7.5 attempts. And Caleb Williams, under 20.5 yards and 4.5 attempts. See, now this is where it gets interesting, because I know that there's a little bit of kerfuffle going on in the locker room with the Philadelphia Eagles. And A.J. Brown, one of the top receivers for the Eagles, he's listed at 54 under over 54.5 yards with 4.5 receptions. Javonte Smith, 52.5 yards at 4.5 receptions. This is where it gets interesting for me. Colston Loveland, over under 29.5 yards and 2.5 receptions. Then you also have, where were we? Cole Kmet, 12.5 yards at 2.5 receptions. Those two, I would actually think about sprinkling something on that right there. But like I said, I am Mr. Mush as far as like the betting aspect of things. However, you are currently listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM. Back in a bit.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy plates, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Ready to tackle your junk piles? Call the Junk Luggers. From old furniture to entire cleanouts, we do the heavy lifting. And here's the best part. We rehome and recycle as much as possible to keep it all out of landfills. Feel good about your cleanout the green way. Call 1-800-LUG-JUNK or visit junkluggers.com today for your eco-friendly, stress-free service.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 7 o'clock.
I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Cintas. Joliet police say an 18-year-old man, Jalen Davis, is facing multiple charges after a series of early morning burglaries Thursday. Officers say Davis threw a brick through a dollar store, then broke into a Wendy's, damaging registers and a safe, and attempted to enter a nearby Dunkin'. Police recovered stolen merchandise and tools they believe were used in the crimes. Davis was arrested, charged with burglary and other offenses, and later released from jail as the investigation continues. Plainfield police say an active incident near Crossing Drive and Springview Court Sunday night was peacefully resolved after nearly 2 hours. Authorities had asked residents to avoid the area, but the alert was lifted just before 8:45 p.m. No further details have been released. The Kane County coroner has identified the driver killed last month in an Elgin train crash. 56-year-old Martin Martinez Jimenez died when a Union Pacific locomotive collided with his landscaping truck on State Street on October 23rd. 2 others were injured. The preliminary NTSB report shows Jimenez had little warning of the oncoming train. Recorders indicate the train's whistle and crossing signals were activated only moments before the collision after vehicles had already entered the tracks. The investigation is ongoing. Millions of Amazon Prime customers will get automatic refunds after a $2.5 billion FTC settlement. Regulators say Amazon used deceptive tactics to sign people up and made it hard to cancel. Eligible customers, those enrolled between 2019 and 2025 with limited Prime use, will get up to $51. Tragedy struck Saturday night at Two Brothers Roundhouse in Aurora, where a shooting left 2 dead, including the suspected shooter and 1 person in critical condition. Police say the 3 victims knew each other and the incident appears to be related to domestic violence. Authorities confirm there is no ongoing threat to the community. The Aurora Police Department and Kane County Coroner are investigating, and anyone with information is urged to come forward. The brew pub has since reopened after temporarily closing. I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley.
Working as a dedicated Fidelity advisor, I always ask, what's important to you? I'll look at those priorities and goals alongside your full financial picture to build a comprehensive plan designed to help grow and protect your wealth. With proactive portfolio insights and an eye on taxes, I'm here to help you make the most of your money. I'm Laura Maxwell, and I'm a dedicated Fidelity advisor. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like rugs. People say a rug would really bring the room together. And sure, you don't know what that means, but it sounds important. Suddenly you're using words like jute and sisal. Then you see the price and lose it, because how can the thing you walk and spill on cost so much? So you devote your life to taking down Big Rug. But then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds. So looks like Big Rug is safe. For now. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Cintas. Joliet police say an 18-year-old man, Jalen Davis, is facing multiple charges after a series of early morning burglaries Thursday. Officers say Davis threw a brick through a dollar store, then broke into a Wendy's, damaging registers and a safe, and attempted to enter a nearby Dunkin'. Police recovered stolen merchandise and tools they believe were used in the crimes. Davis was arrested, charged with burglary and other offenses, and later released from jail as the investigation continues. Plainfield police say an active incident near Crossing Drive and Springview Court Sunday night was peacefully resolved after nearly 2 hours. Authorities had asked residents to avoid the area, but the alert was lifted just before 8:45 p.m. No further details have been released. The Kane County coroner has identified the driver killed last month in an Elgin train crash. 56-year-old Martin Martinez Jimenez died when a Union Pacific locomotive collided with his landscaping truck on State Street on October 23rd. 2 others were injured. The preliminary NTSB report shows Jimenez had little warning of the oncoming train. Recorders indicate the train's whistle and crossing signals were.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. Brought to you by Hot Hands, America's favorite hand warmers. A wind advisory is in effect from 3 a.m. to 9 p.m. Wednesday for the listening area. Tonight, rain likely between 8 p.m. and 1 a.m., then a slight chance of rain and snow. Mostly cloudy with a low around 33. Gusty winds up to 45 miles per hour. Currently, it is 48 degrees and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
The holidays are back at Starbucks, so share the season with a peppermint mocha. Starbucks signature espresso, velvety mocha, and cool peppermint notes, topped with whipped cream and dark chocolate curls. Together is the best place to be at Starbucks.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine and More.
Ever tried balancing a dozen eggs in one hand while hopping on one foot? Or maybe juggling cats while riding the unicycle? Sounds ridiculous, right? But guess what? That's exactly what texting while driving is like. Your human brain only has the capacity to focus on one thing at a time. So when you're behind the wheel, give driving your undivided attention.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses should operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the better business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Ladies and gentlemen, step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. From the Chicago land to lands afar. With Derrick Geyer, your sports czar. The game's the place from field to rink. Hot debates, fast takes, no time to blink. The Windy City roar, the fans ignite. Your circus of sports under radio light. Big time sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland.
And welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick That's all right. I know it's cheesy, but I gots to be me. It is so Gouda. See what I did there? Before I go any further, if you are interested in receiving a free car wash, go to www.britanscarwash.com. That's www.britanscarwash.com. Britain spelled BRITTAINS. Carwash.com. Located at 1572 Larkin Avenue in Elgin, Illinois. You go to the website, you sign up, you get that free car wash, you put it on your phone, you go there, you do the QR code, I think. I don't, but because I haven't signed up for it, but we're going to be getting snow over the course of the next couple of days, and I'll save it for afterward, but I'm definitely going to go to britanscarwash.com. And with that being said, if you are hearing the sound of my voice, you could also see my pretty face if you go to youtube.com at WRMN Radio. And if you want to be a part of this sporting conversation, you can also call in at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. Or if you are too shy to do that, hit me up on the text line at 505-926-1410. That's 505-926-1410. And if you didn't already know, you could listen to us on the WRMN app. Download that, listen to us anytime. You get to hear the WRMN morning show with Susie C. and Elliot the L Train Serrano. You get the community hour from 9 to 10. You get the news hour from 10 to 11. From 11 to 1, you get Out to Lunch with Matt McNeil. Or is it Marvelous Margarita Matt McNeil? Quadruple? Yeah, 4, 3, try, yeah. Quad M McNeil. And after that, it is What's Cooking Today from 1 to 2. I'm thinking since it's Thanksgiving, it's going to be turkey and sides and everything nice like that. And then after that, from 2 to 4, it is going to be Talk Time with Tammy, except, And then a political talk show with Dennis Sonar Green from 4 to 6. And then, of course, yours truly, Derrick Geyer, on Big Top Sports every Monday through Friday, with the exception of this Friday and Thursday because, well, it's Thanksgiving, family time, and the Chicago Bears will be playing on WRMN Radio pregame starting at noon. And then stay tuned for the Bears game, which kicks off at 2 o'clock from Philadelphia as the Bears take on the Eagles, the Philadelphia Eagles, and their snowball throwing at Santa Arces. And then the postgame will be followed after the game for a couple hours. So stick around. We've got you covered for all the Bears then game, and then post-game action here on WRMN 1410 AM. And then don't forget, we also have sporting shows on Saturday mornings. So from 8 to 9, it is Marcus Mack and Kyle Long. No, not that Kyle Long. On The Truth About Chicago Sports from 8 to 9. Then we have Fantasy Football Blitz with David Tees and John Payne. There might be a mini guest in there as well from 9 to 10. And then from 10 to noon, it is On the Rise, hopefully, with Mike Napolitano and company from 10 to noon. And I am sure they will be talking a heaping, helping cacophony of Bears talk and everything else in the sporting atmosphere and sporting circular area of the Fox River Valley. And talking about in the circular area of the Fox River Valley, I'm not sure if I want to, but I'm going to. I am going to be talking about the Unbelievea-Bulls. The Chicago Unbelievea-Bulls. Oh my good Lord. Okay, let's start with the standings. They are currently 9-8, which puts them in yet another, puts them in the playoff game, right? And with all of the injuries and everything that they were experiencing, and there was quite a bit of injuries last night as they were taking on the Pelicans. Oh, great googly moogly. I have absolutely no idea what I need to sprinkle on that horse smurf and call it a delectable, delicious item, because it was even painful to listen to the call on the radio last night as well. And with that being said, the Chicago Bulls yesterday lost to the New Orleans Pelicans by the score of 143 to 130. Now, why I am so oof and about this is because, currently the New Orleans Pelicans is one of the worst teams in the association. They have a 3-win season after beating the Bulls by 13 points, and they were up as they were even up by a lot more than 13, and it quite honestly looked like they were going to choke the game away, which is kind of what you would expect with a team in the association that has a record as putrid as that. But then you're also going back a couple days ago when the Bulls nearly lost to the 1-win Washington Wizards. And they were able to eke that out on a last-minute 3-ball. Okay. Then, after that, they got absolutely manhandled by the Miami Heat in that NBA Cup group stage, where it behooves the team to score more than, your other opponent. Well, that goes without saying, because in order to win the game, you need to score more than your opponent, right? But as far as the NBA Cup goes and group stage and all that fun stuff, it's almost like you need to go back to playing NCAA basketball, where you need to run the score up as much as you can, because that is, in fact, the tiebreaker for, who moves on and who doesn't. But part of the reason why the Chicago Bulls were down and out yesterday was because Nikola Vucevic, he was ruled out for yesterday's game. His knee's bugging him. Kevin Huerter, his pelvis is apparently hurting him. He was ruled out for yesterday's game. You also had Trent Flowers, who was out. Dalen Terry was out with a calf. Trenton Terry, I'm sorry, I'm combining these names here. Trenton Flowers was out with an illness yesterday. Dalen Terry was out with a calf injury. And then Isaac Okoro, he was out with a back injury yesterday as well. And then Zach Collins, he's basically been inactive on the inactive list for the Chicago Bulls since the coming on and coming off of the inactive list for the Chicago Bulls. But oh my goodness, they were just absolutely manhandled by the New Orleans Pelicans yesterday. trying to find the page where, here we are. If there was ever a domination that another team put on the t'other, the Pelicans basically wiped the floor with the Chicago Bulls in the paint yesterday. And with that being said, the Pelicans were able to score 78 points to the Bulls' 44 points in yesterday's game in the paint, which basically means they are in and around the free throw line. They are getting second chance looks. They ended up giving, and the they that I'm talking about, the Chicago Bulls and the Unbelievea-Bulls, gave up 19 offensive rebounds, which led to 30 second chance points for the Pelicans. Oh, God. 78 to 44 points in the paint in yesterday's game. Without Vucevic being able to patrol that, it was just their, hey, Zion Williamson, go there, dominate, which he did. And, well, there's really nothing more to say than that they were absolutely weak down there. And then as far as the Pelicans went, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players. 8 players in double digits in points. Zion Williamson led the charge with 29 points. So without the Bulls' big guy, the Pelicans' big guy, and Zion Williamson, whose oft-injured career, he wasn't oft-injured last night, and he did one hell of a job as well. Even coming in and hitting a boatload of free throws at the charity stripe. But we'll see what Billy Donovan has in store for the Chicago Bulls coming up, and they will be taking on the Charlotte Hornets on Black Friday in yet another NBA Cup group stage game, and this matchup will be taking place in Charlotte. So maybe, hopefully, a couple of days off will do the Bulls good, finally. But then again, they're back to back, and they have, 3 games in 4 nights. Playing on Friday, then again back on Saturday, off on Sunday, and then playing again on Monday. So it just continues to be a brutal stretch for the Chicago Bulls at this particular moment in time. And you like to think that they would do a hell of a lot better against teams with 1 win and or 2 wins on the young season. But damn. It is no good.
For the last time, no.
I feel you on that one. But you're currently listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM. I will be back on the other side of this break.
Tune in to Big Top Sports
with Derrick Geyer every weeknight from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
He'll have sports thoughts from the center ring of Chicagoland and to the outer rings from across the nation.
Weather from Chicago Cubs,
White Sox,
Bulls,
Bears,
Blackhawks,
Stars,
Fire.
Hey guys,
whatever the national story
listen
is
to Big
of the
Top
day.
Sports
Geyer and his
listen
sports
to my
star
ad
takes will
on
either
Big Top
have you
Sports
nodding in agreement,
yelling
as
at the
Big Top
radio,
Sports is going
in all
on.
honesty,
For those of you that are tuning in on the
Chicagoland sports and sports are
WRMN
in general, there's bound to be
thrills,
radio,
chills, and oh my god
YouTube
moments.
app.
So get your snacks and
Well,
libations
you already know
ready.
that.
Because this
But
is
I'm just
going to
having
be
a little bit of
wild
fun right
ride.
now.
Big Top Sports with
So,
Derrick
thank you
Geyer's
for listening.
quirky and
I
insightful
appreciate
Fanatics
it.
take.
will make you feel a little
Or a lot better
And
about your
hopefully-
Chicagoland sports viewing experiences.
We're going to be talking about
Tune in
a little
to
bit of
Big Top
racing
Sports
on
with Derrick
tomorrow's
Geyer.
show,
Every weeknight from
because
6 p.m.
that is
to 8
when
p.m.
my NASCAR guy will actually be in studio, hopefully. If he's not getting
Building
paid
a
to
house
work another
is hard,
event.
But
That
have you
is.
tried removing
So,
one?
there's that.
Flood Brothers takes the mess out of demolition. With fast roll-off dumpster delivery, reliable debris pickup, and a family-owned team that takes service personally. Call 630-261-0400 or visit floodbrothersdisposal.com. Flood Brothers Disposal, proud sponsor of America's First Responders Fest.
The new novel, titled DUI Jury Trial, is the true story of two lawyers who defend a truck driver who is charged with DUI. If he's convicted, this truck driver faces a lifetime disqualification of his commercial driver's license, which would prevent him from ever driving a truck again. This 3-year legal battle culminates in a courtroom showdown, which involves the testimony of a DUI expert witness. This book, DUI Jury Trial, is now available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com.
Most people out here think that taking care of one another is important. And most people would step up for a neighbor going through a tough time. Most people around here help out friends and family when they need it. But the funny thing is, most of us won't look for help when we need it. If you're struggling with mental health, you should know that there are resources out there that can help. And it's okay to talk about it if you need to. One place to get started with information is loveyourmindtoday.org. Loveyourmindtoday.org offers a range of guides, instructions, and insights for dealing with difficult situations or getting through a tough time. If you're struggling with mental health, get the help you need, because most people out here really care. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
And welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer. And you know, I'm talking about the Chicago Unbelievea-Bulls right now, and I have absolutely no idea like what the fix is. There's clearly no quick fix, because if you are watching the Chicago Bulls, God bless you. You are a glutton for punishment, because one game they're okay, and the next, well, it's basically Groundhog Day all over again. They look like they're about ready to get out of the muck and the mire and the mayhem that they find themselves in. But my goodness. I mean, in the very beginning, remember back to the very beginning of this season where the Chicago Bulls were 5-1, 6-1, somewhere in there, and they were, you know, playing out of their mind. You're like, oh my God, this is an amazing opportunity for the Chicago Bulls. They might have actually turned the corner and done something good. Yeah, well, kind of hard to get excited about it. And it's kind of evident by listening to the play-by-play voice on radio, Chuck Swirsky and Bill Wennington, where they're even having a hard time of comprehending what was going on. But the reason why I was bringing up the very early part of the season was because, wow, 5-1, 6-1. And then they go on a 4-game losing streak. Okay. Yeah. And then they find themselves in the 9th spot, play-in time. Oh, well, all you really need to do is match them up against the Miami Heat, which they blew them out the other day in tournament or in NBA Cup play. But my goodness, the run and gun, run the floor, young men. Play defense, crash the boards, get a little bit more physicality in your play. I don't know if it's because they've had so many games over the last couple of weeks or whatever, but coming out to 20-point deficits to lesser teams, or whether it be those lesser teams are absolutely shooting out of their mind, with the 3-ball, or getting 20-plus free throws in a game where the Chicago Unbelievea-Bulls are getting only half and only making 70%, if that. Because that was a thing yesterday as well, where it seemed like every single time the New Orleans Pelicans were getting the ball or shooting the ball, they were taking a foul, they were going to the foul line, and I'm not exactly sure if this is like a thing of the referees or if it's just a thing of the Chicago Unbelievea-Bulls, where they are taking bad shots and they're not making any contact with the defender to get to the line. But my goodness, it has been, the consistency has been lacking, to say the least. But hopefully things will turn around in this upcoming stretch. We'll see, because like I said, Black Friday starts a 3 out of 4 game stretch for the Unbelievea-Bulls. You're currently listening to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with yours truly, Derrick Geyer.
I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Rain-X. Tragedy struck Saturday night at Two Brothers Roundhouse in Aurora, where a shooting left 2 dead, including the suspected shooter and 1 person in critical condition. Police say the 3 victims knew each other, and the incident appears to be related to domestic violence. Authorities confirm there is no ongoing threat to the community. The Aurora Police Department and Kane County Coroner are investigating, and anyone with information is urged to come forward. The brew pub has since reopened after temporarily closing. Joliet police say an 18-year-old man, Jalen Davis, is facing multiple charges after a series of early morning burglaries Thursday. Officers say Davis threw a brick through a dollar store, then broke into a Wendy's, damaging registers and a safe, and attempted to enter a nearby Dunkin'. Police recovered stolen merchandise and tools they believe were used in the crimes. Davis was arrested, charged with burglary and other offenses, and later released from jail as the investigation continues. Plainfield police say an active incident near Crossing Drive and Springview Court Sunday night was peacefully resolved after nearly 2 hours. Authorities had asked residents to avoid the area, but the alert was lifted just before 8:45 p.m. No further details have been released. The Kane County Coroner has identified the driver killed last month in an Elgin train crash. 56-year-old Martin Martinez Jimenez died when a Union Pacific locomotive collided with his landscaping truck on State Street on October 23rd. 2 others were injured. The preliminary NTSB report shows Jimenez had little warning of the oncoming train. Recorders indicate the train's whistle and crossing signals were activated only moments before the collision after vehicles had already entered the tracks. The investigation is ongoing. Millions of Amazon Prime customers will get automatic refunds after a $2.5 billion FTC settlement. Regulators say Amazon used deceptive tactics to sign people up and made it hard to cancel. Eligible customers, those enrolled between 2019 and 2025 with limited Prime use, will get up to $51. I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley.
The holidays are back at Starbucks, so share the season with a peppermint mocha. Starbucks signature espresso, velvety mocha, and cool peppermint notes, topped with whipped cream and dark chocolate curls. Together is the best place to be at Starbucks.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly, B21.
Are you like everybody else in the world who has no idea what to get everyone for the holidays? Well, you're in luck. We got you. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with hands-free Skechers slip-ins, you just step into them and they're on. There's no bending down, no touching, no fuss. Plus, Skechers slip-ins come in everyone's favorite styles and colors. And you can get slip-ins everywhere stylish footwear is sold, including a Skechers store. Or if you're too busy to shop in person, just get them online at Skechers.com, Amazon, and more.
Are you dreaming of a getaway? Want to leave the stress of daily life behind? Whether it's a relaxing cruise or an adventurous land escape, planning the perfect vacation doesn't have to be a hassle. At Cruises International, they specialize in vacation destinations, land and sea, making your dreams come true. Located at 1721 Moon Lake Boulevard in Hoffman Estates, Cruises International isn't just about booking travel. They're your personal concierge, trusted travel advisor, and advocate. Your preferences are unique, and they'll take the time to understand exactly what you're looking for. From personalized service to their global network of specialists, they ensure that your vacation is tailor-made just for you. It's time to plan the vacation of a lifetime. Call 800-255-7447. That's 800-255-7447 today and speak to a cruise and vacation expert. Cruises International. It's time to set sail to your dream destination.
This is Will Walker with your Fox Valley forecast. Brought to you by Hot Hands, America's favorite hand warmers. A wind advisory is in effect from 3 a.m. to 9 p.m. Wednesday for the listening area. Tonight, rain likely between 8 p.m. and 1 a.m., then a slight chance of rain and snow. Mostly cloudy with a low around 33. Gusty winds up to 45 miles per hour. Currently, it is 49 degrees and overcast. With your Fox Valley forecast, I'm Will Walker on WRMN, the talk of the town.
The holidays are back at Starbucks, so share the season with a peppermint mocha. Starbucks signature espresso, velvety mocha, and cool peppermint notes, topped with whipped cream and dark chocolate curls. Together is the best place to be at Starbucks.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly, B21.
Ladies and gentlemen, step on inside. It's Big Top Sports, your thrilling ride. Big Top Sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland. Football frenzy and hoops so high. Baseball swinging as seasons fly. Hockey blades cutting swift and true. Sports carousel spinning just for you. Big Top Sports, feel the roar. Where the wild games come to score. Geyer guiding the sports band from the heart of Chicagoland.
And welcome back into Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM with your host, Derrick Geyer. Okay, I move from the Unbelievables to the Chicago Blackhawks, who have also been kind of unbelievable as well. And why I say that is unbelievably inconsistent. But this is kind of how the season was going to go, right? At least as far as my watching and my taking in the Chicago Blackhawks. They're currently on a 3-game losing streak. And my goodness, what a 3-game losing streak it has been. They lost a heartbreaker to the Seattle Kraken on Thursday, November 20th. They got absolutely destroyed in a back-to-back game with the Buffalo Sabres, which is apparently a team that was a little bit better than I had thought and had given them credit for. The Blackhawks lost by a score of 9-3. So if I'm doing my math, they got outscored 3-1. Ugly, ugly game. And then, they also lost a tough one to one of the better teams in the league, and they played them really well. They lost 1-0. Excuse me. It's the carbonated beverage that I partook in before going back on air, which is probably not a wise thing to do. But anyway, they lost to one of the better teams in the NHL, in the Colorado Avalanche. I wish I could say the Colorado sucks Avalanche, but, I can't because they don't. But I just did, so I guess there's that. And then tomorrow, they are facing off against the Minnesota Wild on home ice at 7:30 p.m. Now, with that being said, the Minnesota Wild are currently sitting 4 points above the Chicago Blackhawks. And if you were paying attention to what I was talking about last week with the Chicago Blackhawks and the whole 75% chance of making the postseason, if you were in playoff contention by Thanksgiving, well, the Blackhawks are currently out of playoff contention right now because of the 3-game losing streak that they are currently on. And with that being said, where do the Blackhawks fit in the playoffs currently? Yeah, that should work. And with that being said, they are currently out of a spot and sit in 6th place in the Central Division. I mean, that'll happen when you have only 24 points. And if memory recalls, they only had 24 points when I was talking about them last week. And part of the thing, or actually going to what I was talking about last week with the Chicago Blackhawks, man, they allow too many forwards and centermen to get in the neighborhood of Spencer Knight. Spencer Knight has been probably one of the best, brightest spots for the Chicago Blackhawks, aside from Connor Bedard and Frank Nazar. And, Artem Lashunov, after being benched the one game, coming back and playing pretty damn good. But even with that being said, the Chicago Blackhawks are not where you would want them to be talent-wise yet. And as I also said previously, they are the 3rd youngest team in the NHL. 3rd youngest team in the NHL. That comes with some growing pains, right? That comes with letting the opposing teams' forwards and centers to get in front of your net, to cause the goalie to be screened. And, if the goaltender cannot see the puck, the goaltender cannot stop the puck. It's as simple as that. But still, the Chicago Blackhawks do have their moments. Connor Bedard, wow. I mean, he's taken as far as I'm concerned, he's taken his game to the next level. And every time he uses that toe drag, snapshot, wrist shot that he's got, it looks like he's going to break his stick in half. And sometimes he does, actually. But because of all of the torque that he gets on it. But man, damn if that doesn't look sweet and impressive, how he's able to do the toe drag, bend the stick almost like in a U, almost in a U, and then able to shoot the puck between the defender's legs and then pick the tiny corner of the goal that is open. Frickin' awesome. Amazing. But yet, their face-off performance isn't good. Some of their decision-making on the puck is not good. Some of the passes. Bunching up is never a good thing. You know, whether it be in the defensive zone, whether it be the defensive zone or in the offensive zone, which will lead to breakaways if there is that lack of communication in the offensive zone, leading to the breakaways, leading to your goaltender to stop 2 and 3 breakaways in a game. That's a no good. Absolutely no good. But it's still a work in progress. At least we know, as fans and observers of the Chicago Blackhawks, what it is that they are working towards, what they are striving for, where they are going. And while it will be a struggle, and the struggle being not playing down to their opponents, to actually put their opponents down, to take advantage of the mistakes that the opportunity or the opposition is giving to them. You need to take it. You need to do it. And one of the things that I kind of worry about is, because it's such a young team, how are they going to get through the grind of the NHL season and the ups and the peaks and valleys and the downs? Yeah, I just combined two of them, two metaphors there. But it's the struggle. It's part of becoming a professional. It's part of going through and developing that mental toughness and growing into the man that you are supposed to be playing at, or the man that you are supposed to be on the ice, even though they're kids. I mean, you got a defenseman, Lefshinov, who's what, 19? Frank Nazar, he's in his maybe 20s. Ages of the Chicago Blackhawks players. And what do we got? Yeah, so Connor Bedard, 20. Colton Dach, 22. Alex Vlasic. Wow, I thought he was older than that. He's 23. Oliver Moore is 20. Well, of course they don't have the guy that I was just talking about. Whatever. But yeah, they're developing still. So maybe after this season, things will be a little bit better for the Chicago Blackhawks. Oh, Frank Nazar, 21. Oh, he's finally he's of age to drink now. Artem Leshunov, 19, as I said. Bedard, 20. Yeah. Ryan Green, 22. Colton Dach, 22. Wyatt Kaiser, 23. Luis Crevier, 24. Spencer Knight, 24. So it is a growing experience this year. But I still believe in my heart of hearts, and this is where I'm leading with my heart of hearts, and I hope I don't do the mush part here. I still believe that the Chicago Blackhawks will make the postseason this year. I do believe that. Up next on Big Top Sports, it is going to be the Major League Baseball Hot Stove with yours truly, Derrick Geyer, on WRMN 1410 AM. Back in a bit.
At Britain's Touchless Car Wash, they know life gets busy. That's why they're here 24/7 to keep your car looking spotless, fast, and easy. Their advanced brush-free wash technology delivers a sparkling clean without a single scratch, because they treat your car like it's their own. Here's the best part. Right now, you can get a free car wash just for joining their text club. It's simple. Just text BRITT to 30400, and your first wash is on them. Britain's Touchless Car Wash has 2 convenient locations, 1923 Larkin Avenue in Elgin and 555 Willow in West Dundee. They're proud to keep your car clean while giving back to our community. Text BRITT to 30400. That's BRITT to 30400. Now for your free car wash, and see why Britain's Touchless Car Wash is the fast, gentle, and reliable choice.
The Live Like Roo Foundation is a 501c3 charitable organization that assists owners and their pets through a cancer diagnosis by providing financial and emotional support. In memory of a dog named Roo, the foundation helps local shelters and rescuers by sponsoring animals with cancer who do not yet have a forever home. Live Like Roo is a beacon of light during a dark time. For support for your pet or to donate or volunteer, please go to livelikeRoo.org. Again, livelikeRoo.org.
Want to read some action-packed, exciting pulp fiction? Read the works of Michael Tooman, now featuring their international crime thriller, I Married a Bot Madam. Available on Amazon in hardcover, paperback, and Kindle editions. The paperback is also available at other book retailers. Check out Michael Tooman's webpage at Scilink.net. That's Papa Sierra Yankee Lima India November Kilo dot November Echo Tango.
If you turned 65 recently like me, it's important you find a Medicare Advantage plan that gives you the coverage you're looking for. But finding one can be difficult. The best thing I did, and I suggest you do the same, is call a licensed insurance agent and let them walk you through your Medicare Advantage plan options. There are so many benefits you have access to, so make the call now and let the representatives explain everything to you. Our licensed insurance agents can offer you a variety of Medicare Advantage plans. Plus, the call is free, the information is free, and there's no obligation to enroll. We're here to make it easy for you to select a Medicare Advantage plan that may work for your needs. Finding a Medicare Advantage plan can be easy if you do what I did. Make a quick call right now to learn more. Thank you.
800-433-3082. 800-433-3082. 800-433-3082. That's 800-433-3082.
And welcome back, I should say, to Big Top Sports here on WRMN 1410 AM as the final segment commences. And as I had mentioned before, we were getting into this, the Chicago Cubs and the hot stove. Well, looks like their bullpen reconstruction is underway, since they have gone ahead and signed a reliever. And that reliever, kind of a little bit of a head scratcher, but the Chicago Cubs, according to John Heyman, and this happened yesterday, but John Heyman tweets out today, Phil Maton, Cubs deal, $14.5 million, 2 years and a club option, plus $250,000 in incentives per year based on games pitched for the ultra reliable reliever. So good chance to reach $15 million on that contract. Now here's the one thing that I kind of question, because in this day and age, when you need, or theoretically speaking, when you are a pundit and relievers are throwing gas in the upper quadrants of 104, 105 miles an hour, and then you sign a guy like Phil Maton, who tops out at maybe 91, 92. But the thing of it is in his 63 games pitched last year, half with the St. Louis Sucks Cardinals, and then the other half with the Texas Rangers. Oh my. You're talking some pretty good stuff, even though his ERA was a little with the Rangers, with a 3.52 ERA, and with the St. Louis Sucks Cardinals, a 2.35. But for someone that throws as hard, or actually as weak as Maton does, his average fastball last year was around 90.6. His cutter, 90.6. And that was up from a velocity of 88.7 in 2024. So, and he also features a slider and a curveball, which, if you know anything about pitching, can be pretty deceiving as long as it's tunneled up. And when I say tunneled up, it is the ball is released from the pitcher's hand with the same arm movement, motion as his fastball. And when you have a slider that is around 83 miles per hour and a curveball that is around 76 miles per hour, that is some deception coming in from the 90.6 mile an hour fastball that he does have. And then to be able to cut it in that same fastball slot and tunnel it like that, yeah, you are going to strike out a lot of players, which is also one of the benefits that I think the Chicago Cubs and their bullpen, and you've also got the pitching coach, Tommy Hottovy, and his pitching lab, which will capitalize on with him, because when you are able to use that kind of deception, and they are geared, and the they that I'm talking about is the batters themselves, are geared up for 95 to 104, somewhere in there. I mean, assuming that you have a reliever coming in and tossing that high heat, not up in chin music, but I'm talking in velocity. And then you have a guy that comes in and is able to do what Maton does. Yeah, that's going to bode well for your bullpen. And that's going to bode well for getting what Craig Counsell and Chicago Cubs management is looking for, which is getting outs. And they could have used a whole lot more of getting outs. Now, is this going to conclude the free agent market for the Chicago Cubs? I sure as hell hope not. I mean, they definitely need a bat or two. They definitely need a starting pitcher. I sure as hell wish that they would go after Kyle Schwarber, but that's not going to happen. And Kyle Schwarber is going to command anywhere from $300 to $400 million. So I'm not exactly sure with the eventual lockout that will be coming in 2027, whether or not the Cubs are willing to do that, extend them on a 1 or 2 year, more contract, because then they would actually have to eat it in the lockout year and still pay that contract of $30 to $40 million. One thing, let's put to bed right now. Kyle Tucker, not coming back to the Chicago Cubs. Just let's put that to bed right there. He does not like hitting at Wrigley Field. That was obvious by his splits. Another one that is not going to be coming to the Chicago Cubs. Bregman, Alex Bregman, third baseman, not going to be coming to the Chicago Cubs. I've already talked about that. But let's put those two names to bed right now. I do not care. And you know what? Maybe the Chicago Cubs surprise me. I don't know. I doubt it. But that would involve spending some money. And like I said, with the looming lockout in 2027, and I know it's over a year away, but damn, if this past baseball season in 2025 didn't go flying by. But at least we have the Chicago Bears to look forward to this Friday. Hopefully. I don't know. It's another coin flip game, but have a good night, all. You are listening to Big Top Sports on WRMN 1410 AM. Back tomorrow.
Are you suffering with anxiety, depression, PTSD, an eating disorder, or even a substance abuse problem? If it's causing problems at work or with your family, get help.